Happy Sunday morning, kids. You know, if there's one thing that COVID taught me, it's that nothing lasts forever. And living in San Francisco during that time, so many of my favorite bars and restaurants, places that I'd been hanging out in for 20 years, just evaporated. They're gone. And I don't think this country has ever gotten past COVID. I think it broke a lot of people, and I think it broke this country in some really fundamental ways that just aren't coming back. And I was thinking about that this morning while I was reading about the Munich Security Conference that's been going on in Germany. And J.D. Vance spoke to the conference and scolded our European allies with his right-wing fever dream bullshit about abortion and censoring free speech on social media. All the same crap they talk about here. All while Donald Trump has been essentially signaling to the world and pretty explicitly telling Europe and NATO countries that while we may not be formally withdrawing from NATO, we're not going to be holding up our end anymore. And that message was being communicated to our European allies, who got the message loud and clear. All of that was within the context of Donald Trump setting up negotiations with Vladimir Putin to end the Ukrainian war. Negotiations between the United States and Russia, which are not going to include any NATO countries, not going to include any European countries or their representatives. And it's a negotiation to resolve Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine that has killed hundreds of thousands of people on both sides. Negotiations that are not going to include Ukraine. Settlement negotiations which are going to take place in Saudi Arabia. So, in the span of a few days, the Trump administration has signaled to NATO, which has been in place for 80 years, since the end of World War II, and until Vladimir Putin came along, was responsible for keeping the peace in Europe for 80 years following World War II. And we've just signaled to NATO and Europe and the world that our allies now, going forward, are not Europe or NATO, but Russia and Saudi Arabia. It's utterly stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Not in a good way. And that's regardless of all of the shit that Donald Trump's been doing here at home over the last month. Nothing good lasts forever, guys. It's a brave new world. Anyway, it's about 7 o'clock in the morning. I got a new drum yesterday to add to my drum kit. So I'm going to go into the city. I'm going to get a big, fat, huge breakfast. And I'm going to go play my drums for a few hours. I hope everybody has a good Sunday. Be safe.